हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदा यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरावन चारी मुना तीरा। यमुना तीरावन चारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radhe Jaya Radha. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagan. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Shri Shri Gauranitai, Jaya. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय हरि नाम संकीर्तन की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो। Reading from Canto 10, Chapter 60, verse number 2. Yastu etal lilaya vishwam Srijati ati avati swaraha Sahi jata swasetunam Gopi thaya yadushu ajaha Yastu etal lilaya vishwam Srijati ati avati swaraha Sahi jata swasetunam Gopithaya yadusho ajaha Yastu etal lilaya vishwam Srijati ati avati swaraha Sahi jata swasetunam Gopithaya yadushu ajaha. Please recite. Yastu etal lilaya vishwam Srijati ati avati swaraha Yastu etal lilaya vishwam Srijati ati avati swaraha Sahi jata sashetunam Gopitaya yaduswaraha Gopithaya yadusho ajaha. What word meaning? Ya, who, to, and. Etat, this. Leelaya, ajis play. Vishwam, universe. Srijati, sends forth. Ati, devours. Avati, protects. Iswaraha, the supreme controller. Sa, he indeed. Jataha, born. Swa, his own. Setunam, of the loss. Gopithaya, for the protection. Yadushu, among the Yadus. Ajaha, the unborn Lord. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Acharya Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The unborn personality of Godhead, the supreme controller who creates, maintains, and then devours this universe simply as his play, took birth among the Yadus to preserve his own laws. Purport. As stated in the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6.3.19, Dharma tu Sakhyat Bhagavat Pranitam. Religion is the law established by God. The word Setu means a boundary or a limit. As in the case of a dike, the earth is raised up on both sides of a river or canal so that the water will not deviate from its proper path. Similarly, God establishes laws so that people who follow them can peacefully progress along the path back to Godhead. These laws, which are meant to guide human behavior, are thus called Setu. A further note on the word Setu: earth that is raised up to separate agricultural fields or to form a causeway or bridge is also called as Setu. Thus, in the 9th canto of Bhagavatam uses the word Setu to indicate the bridge Lord Ramachandra built to Sri Lanka. Since the laws of God act as a bridge to take us from material life to liberated spiritual life, this additional sense of the word Setu certainly enriches its use here. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Raghunatham Vitamtam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Rutinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurati Vishre Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavano Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Nilachala Nivashaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Shubhadravyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvyaevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate giri yadakripatamaham vande Shri Guru Tinataranam Paramanandamadavam. Hare Krishna. So I request devotees so that please bless and pray so that we can speak something on this glorious literature Bhagavatam for the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Govinda Deveshwar Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra Marani and all the Acharyas, and for my own purification. So, anyhow, now Bhadra Purnima is going on. So before beginning the Bhagavatam, we'll try to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. As you understand, Bhagavatam tells this famous verse that the Sonagadi Rishis had asked that when Krishna has disappeared from this world, where the religion has take shelter. To answer to this question, after Krishna disappeared from this world, to answer to this question, Suta Goswami is telling, what is the verse? Krishna Swadhama Upagate Dharma Jnana Adivisaha Kalau Nashta Drisham Mesa Puranarko Dhanodita. Such a beautiful verse. Just like holy name is also there to completely vanquish all the effects of Kali Yuga. So Srimad Bhagavatam, which is non-different from Krishna himself. So Krishna appeared in the form of this Srimad Bhagavatam Krishna Swadhama Upagate, when Krishna left for his own abode, Dharma Jnana Adi Vasa, with everything, Kalau Nashta Drisham Esa, to the effects of Kali Yuga, which you can easily see, the more the day and age is increasing, the more the irreligiosity is increasing day and day, the more the mind is becoming disturbed, isn't it? That's what the Kali Yuga characteristics are being spoken here. Prayana alpaisu savya kalo asmin yuga jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya upadrita. Upadrita means always disturbed. This you can understand. And but Bhagavatam is such a beautiful literature. Simple by reading Srimad Bhagavatam or coming in contact by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, automatically it vanquishes all the effects of Kali Yuga. Such beauty is the Bhagavatam is telling. And to such an extent it is telling, in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam it is telling, Dharma projito kaitavatru paramo nirmacharanam satam vedyam vastavastu shivadam tapotrayo unmilanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane kimba parer ishvaro sadyo riddhi avaruddhate shusrubhis tat khyana. So what a glory of Bhagavatam is being expressed in these words. It's telling it is establishing the true religious principles, which is pure devotional service to Sri Krishna. Just by coming in contact with this, the living entity can revive back its own original nature, which the living entity is looking for the happiness, which is there only in serving Krishna, which can be easily what is telling? Sadhya ruddhya avaruddhate susrubhis tatkhana. As soon as one hears Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately Krishna is established in his heart. Another point also is telling, Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurane kimba parer iswara. If one needs to revive back his own original Krishna consciousness, he is telling, if Bhagavatam is there, then why there is any other literature is required actually? There is no other literature actually required for even Bhagavatam is there with us actually. That is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the next verse also glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam sukhamukadam rita dravashamyatam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhubi bhavukaha. It is the essence of all the Vedic literature, isn't it? It is the Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam sukhamukadam rita dravashamyatam. It is so beautifully releasable. It is like a juice. You can easily drink it. And moreover, it is told it has been tasted by Sukadeva Goswami. It has been tasted by Sukadeva Goswami. If you read that purport of either Nigama Kalpataru or after just some verses, Srila Prabhupada is writing, Srimad Bhagavatam is tasted by Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami is compared to parrot. And it is told, when parrot touches the fruit with his beak, then what happens? The fruit becomes more tasty. So what is the specific qualities of the parrot? We tell, whatever you speak to him, he will repeat it. But Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport, Sukadeva Goswami is compared here to parrot, not because he is able to repeat exactly as it is, just the way he heard from his spiritual master. Rather, he is able to present the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is easily understandable and digestible by the people in general. That is the reason actually Bhagavatam is, Sukadeva Goswami is compared here as parrot. But what it is? Nigama kalpataru galitam phalam sukhamukadamrita dravashamyutam pibata Bhagavatam. It is like a great juice. It's a drink, you can easily drink it. Rasamala muhuraho rasika bhubi bhavuka. The great soul actually releases this. The great soul releases this. It's not meant for the people those who are envious, isn't it? It is meant for the people those who are non-envious. Also, it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to tell, the Bhagavatam is Amala Puranam, spotless Purana. We find other Puranas are having so many mixed with the three modes of material nature. That's the reason Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna Nirdando Nitya Saktasa. Yes, I'm forgetting. So Krishna is telling that Traigunya Vishaya Veda. He is telling because the Vedas are mixed with three modes of material nature. Vedas are mixed with three modes of material nature. So, this Bhagavatam is a purely transcendental literature. How do you understand this? Because when Vyasadeva wrote this this the Vedic literature, but he was not satisfied. And Narada Muni, he is really thinking, why after writing, really trying to deliver this living entity from this material world, after writing so huge, vast Vedic literature, why is it happening that I am not satisfied? And Narada Muni coming, we finding, and Narada Muni coming and giving an instruction to write a literature exclusively glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So this Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to such an extent, when he is telling that Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Brajabadhu Varge Nagi Kalpita. When he is telling that Vrindavan is the highest dham to be worshipped, when he is telling Krishna is the worshipable Supreme Lord, when he is telling the gopis worship of the Supreme Lord Krishna is the highest type of worship, he is telling Bhagavatam is the pramanam. He is putting the Bhagavatam to be the pramana. To such an extent, Mahaprabhu we find in his own life, Mahaprabhu used to practically daily, when he was in Puri, he used to daily go to Gadadhar Pandit. Every day, as Srimad Bhagavatam is telling, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Isn't it? He used to go daily to Gadadhar Pandit, and every day for hours and hours he used to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. The same Supreme Lord who has come in the mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani, whose appearance was yesterday, the most mysterious tattva in the whole Vedic literature, the tattva of Srimati Radharani, in that mood and complexion Sri Krishna had personally come. And he is releasing Srimad Bhagavatam hours and hours with his devotees. What are the pastimes he is releasing? Of the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj. What the people in the outside world, the Bhagavad Katha, they left it as for the neophyte and they just directly jump to Rasalila. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is clearly telling each and every word, Pade Pade, every word has a great taste. So much depth of the meaning is there in each and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is releasing again and again. He is telling Gadadhar Pandit, please read again and again. He was so much, he was so much moved, or basically he was so much touched by Srimad Bhagavatam, that we find even in Badanagar Patbadi, when he went there and when he found a Brahmana reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into ecstasy and he is telling, go on reading Srimad Bhagavatam, go on reading Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it? And to such an extent, Mahaprabhu was so much went to in ecstasy, he gave him the name Bhagavata Acharya. So through his life and through his teachings, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established the glories and importance of Srimad Bhagavatam in our life. And Bhagavatam itself is glorifying, itself is establishing how just by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Nashta Prayesu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. As soon as you read Srimad Bhagavatam, automatically, all the contamination within our heart gets vanquished. This is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is written by Vyasadeva at the maturity of his own practice of devotional service. Directly, only exclusively glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is we have been given opportunity by Srila Prabhupada, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, to read and hear about it every day. What a fortune we have been given actually. Which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has established through his lives and teachings, which Bhagavatam itself is proclaiming. That is being, we are given opportunity to read and hear every day Srimad Bhagavatam. So here today, we find that today's verse is Krishna teaches Rukmani. And before the pastime starts, Sukadeva Goswami is telling this verse to establish the supremacy, the tattva of Krishna, Supreme Person of Godhead Krishna, so that people should not misunderstand it, that what the pastime is going to happen. First verse is told, Sri Vadarani said, once in the company of her maid servant, Queen Rukmani was personally serving her husband, the spiritual master of the universe. By using this word Jagat Gurum in the first words, Shukadeva Goswami is basically establishing the position of Krishna, so that we don't misunderstand to be a, what you call, pastime between a husband and a wife. So Shukadeva Goswami is clearly establishing the position of Krishna, that Jagat Gurum. The next verse he is establishing more tattva of Krishna through this verse. He is telling, Yastu etali leelaya viswam srijati ati avatiswaraha sahi jata swasetunam gopithaya yadushu ajaha. He is telling the unborn personality of Godhead, the supreme controller who creates, maintains and then devours this universe. He is establishing the tattva of Supreme Lord through these words. Various words Shukadeva Goswami is using here. He is telling that unborn, the Supreme Lord is unborn. He is the supreme controller of the whole universe. Srijati ati avatiswaraha. He creates, he maintains and he devours this universe. Not the small things he's doing. The whole universe is created, maintained and devoured. We find the whole Bhagavatam is giving the whole description. How Krishna through his different expansion of the expansion, creating the whole universe through the Mahavishnu. How he maintains through the Garbhodakhay Vishnu and Kshirodakhay Vishnu. How he devours or destruction through Lord Shiva. And he is the supreme controller of the whole universe. And he does all this simply as his play. It's a beautiful word is being used. Simply as his play. Some days ago, when this Nadagopal Prabhu was giving class, he was speaking that how the same Supreme Lord, when the Indra was completely defeated by Narakasura, that his mother's earring was taken by Narakasura and he could not do anything. He was such a huge Asura that Indra, all the Devatas could not do anything. And here, the Supreme Lord, going with his consort, Satyabhama, as if like he's just going for a tour and killing the Narakasura and coming back. As if it's just a play for him. That's the way he does it. And took birth among the Yadus to preserve his own laws. So when I was reading this verse, I just remembered the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, verse 6. The same principle is being spoken in by Krishna himself. The same thing is being spoken by Krishna himself. When Krishna is first in the beginning of the 4th canto, he is telling that evam parampara praptam imam rajarishu viduha sakalena mahata yoganashta parantapaha. When Krishna is telling that this message I had given earlier to Vivaswan, isn't it? He is telling that Vivaswana praha manave ikhyavaku abravit. He is telling that I had given this message to Vivaswan, and then it went to Manu, Swayambhavu Manu, then it went to Ikhyavaku. This is the way the Parampara system was there. But unfortunately what had happened, this message was broken. And at that time Arjuna is asking the question, Krishna, we both are equals actually. How is it that you are telling that you gave this knowledge to Vivaswan who appeared millions of years ago? Isn't it? So to make actually Arjuna was asking on behalf of us, all of us actually, Prabhupada writes. So to clarify this whole principle that how Krishna had given this message to Arjuna, to Vivaswan millions of years ago, Krishna is speaking these verses 4.5 to 4.9, which establishes the principle which is spoken today in today's words. Krishna is telling Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna, tani aham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapaha. Krishna is telling that the Supreme Person of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. Actually, to make us understand how Krishna is actually unborn, these are the verses which Krishna himself is speaking. Many, many births, both you and I have passed, and I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of enemy. He's telling that ki Krishna, Arjuna, actually many, many births, you and I have appeared. Because, what you call, Arjuna is the soul, spirit soul, and Krishna is the super soul actually, isn't it? They are not the bodies. So, Krishna is telling many, many births. And Srila Prabhupada is quoting the verses from Sri Brahma Samhita. He is telling that he is quoting the verse Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusam Navayovanam Cha Vede Sudurlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He is telling actually Supreme Person of Godhead Krishna, absolute truth is only one. Absolute truth is only one. But he manifests in different forms. And Prabhupada is giving the example of Vaidurya stone. The Vaidurya stone, what it does is the same stone, but it changes color accordingly in different circumstances. So similarly, the Supreme Lord is made up of the Spirit. He just manifests differently at different time. Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Rupam. Anadi Rupam means many forms. He doesn't change the body. That's what Krishna is going to speak in the next, telling to Arjuna that the living entity changes the body. That's the reason he is unable to remember his past life. Prabhupada is giving a very simple, Prabhupada is in one sense is speaking, he is telling, the word is used here is the Parantapaha. Parantapa means who can conquer the enemy. So Prabhupada is telling, Krishna is telling to Arjuna that you can conquer your enemy, but you cannot remember your own past birth. अब पिछले जन्म में क्या किए थे आप नहीं याद कर सकते हैं. You are telling that you can conquer your enemy, but you cannot do this because you are changing the body. The fact that Krishna remember Bahunani Janma, he is able to remember everything what he has done. That means he is not changing the body. This logic is given by Krishna here. And he never forgets. That's the reason it is Achyuta. Another meaning of the Achyuta Srila Prabhupada is bringing out. Now in the next himself. For the living entity there is a difference. All of us, the body is different and the spirit soul is different. But for the Supreme Lord there is no difference. And to establish this point, Krishna is telling in the next verse. Ajo api shan avyayatma Bhutanam Ishvaro Apishan Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya Sambhavami Atmamayaya. Here this Krishna is telling this word Ajo Apishan. Although I am unborn, Avyayatmaha. Here is the word is being used by Krishna to tell that his body never deteriorates. Like our body goes through the change. But Avyaya Atma means his body never deteriorates. Krishna's body never deteriorates. Because the Krishna body is changing or it deteriorates, then there is a question that he may forget all the, what you call, his things in his, his remembrance of his past lives. He is telling, Bhutanam Iswara Apisan. Although I am the master of the all living entities. All the living entities they forget, but I don't forget. I am the master of all the living entities. I don't forget. Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya. Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya means telling that ki I Swam Adhisthaya, my own transcendental form I descend. I am always situated in my own transcendental form. Sambhavami Atmamayaya. That ki he comes through his internal potency. When the living entity comes, Karmana Daivanetrena means he comes under the jurisdiction of karma, which is external energy, isn't it? But when Krishna comes, he tells Sambhavami Atmamaya. So we'll try to understand this verse and next two verses. Yes. Yes, Krishna does not change his body because Avyayatma, Krishna is himself telling. Then he is telling, Swam Adhishtaya, he is telling, he appears his own transcendental form. This also establishes that Krishna does not change body when he appears in different incarnation. He does not change. Anyway, he does not change. Neither his body deteriorates, and also he does not change. Why? Because he himself tells that I appear in my own transcendental form. When he is telling transcendental forms, that means it is beyond three modes of material nature. That means it is not contaminated by material modes. It's not contaminated by material modes. And he appears through his internal potency. And Srila Prabhupada is giving us a simple example to make us understand how Krishna is actually unborn. So Srila Prabhupada is using the example of sun. He is using the example of sun. The sun appears to us that the sun is rising and is what you call moving from one place to another and is setting. That's what it appears to our defective eyes. But actually the sun is not, when it sets, it's not that its existence is gone. Prabhupada is telling that it's fixed in its position, isn't it? So similarly Krishna is Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya. Adhishtaya means it's fixed in his transcendental form. So similarly Krishna is also, when he appears, he is there in his own transcendental form. Only it appears to us that he is appearing, he is doing some pastime and he is disappearing. He is appearing and he is doing some pastime and disappearing. But it is not so. Why? Because he is appearing through his internal potency, which is very difficult for us to understand because our mind and intelligence are there in external potency. How can you understand something which is beyond? And another meaning of Atma Mayaya, Srila Prabhupada is bringing out the most important meaning, which also is being spoken here in this today's words, is that Atma Maya means Lord's causeless mercy. This makes the Supreme Lord's appearance and disappearance to be transcendental. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvatah takta deham punarjanma neti mam etisho Arjuna. Because Krishna is appearing only out of causeless mercy. He doesn't appear for any other thing. Out of compassion for the living entity. I was hearing one lecture by Maharaj that what is this compassion is that here in this material world actually no living entity is actually favorable to Krishna. Because everyone is unfavorable to Krishna. Everybody has rather, kicked him and came to here to establish his own kingdom. Now Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is so compassionate, like none of us like to go to a place where there is not even one person is favorable to us. We want at least koi to samajhna chahiye, somebody should be favorable. But here the Supreme Lord is descending to this material world where each and every living entity is envious of him. That is his compassion. That he is ready to descend, and not only descend, he is ready to pull us out from this place. That is his compassion. For that reason, actually he manifests so many beautiful pastimes. He manifests this pastime so that we get attracted. The Srila Prabhupada is telling in the purport, he is telling Atma Maya, he appears so that we don't start imagining about the spiritual truths. We start remembering and actually the beautiful pastimes and activities done by the Supreme Lord, and our mind gets absorbed. Through that, Krishna is trying to pull us out of this material world. That is the reason it is Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. He appears only out of causeless mercy for the living entity. And here in this verse, today's Bhagavatam verse is telling Setu. That is thus being spoken in the next two verses. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavatu bharatam avyuthanaya dharmasya tadatmanam shrujamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskrutam dharma samsthapananathaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Krishna is telling that when the irreligion increases in the world, Whenever the irreligion increases in the world, at that time Krishna appears. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavatu bharata. But if you read Srila Prabhupada purports, Prabhupada is telling, it's not that Krishna is obliged to come because Bhagavatam is telling that the scripture tells Krishna comes in every yuga, isn't it? But Prabhupada is telling he is not exactly obliged like that. He has his own free will when he wants to descend. Although all the rules and regulations are there, Prabhupada is using the word. I'll just read the purport. He's telling that although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapar Yuga of the 20th millennium of the 7th Manu in one day of Brahma, so precisely is being mentioned, he has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulation because he is completely free to act in many ways at his will, because he is Swarat. Janmadi yasyatah anuvayat itaratasya artheshu avigya Swarat. He is not obliged to do anything actually. But he, out of his own sweet will, he appears when the irreligion prevails and the religion goes down. And there Srila Prabhupada is using this word, today's words. Dharmam tu sakhyat bhagavat pranitam. The dharma which is being spoken here in Bhagavatam, in the 6th point, 3.9 in Bhagavatam, today's words, in the purport, actually the dharma is spoken by the Lord himself. Srila Prabhupada gives a simple example. Just like it's not that the citizens can make their own laws in their home sitting, that okay, I will make my own law. No, the law is established by the government, whichever, the state government or the national government. Similarly, the dharma is spoken or established by the Supreme Lord himself. That's what Krishna is telling, na? And the Vedas, which is establishing the religious principle, is spoken by the Supreme Lord, isn't it? Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye Muhyanti Yasurayo. When Brahmaji, in the beginning of the creation, Krishna gave the knowledge of the Vedas in the heart of Brahma, and gradually Brahma spoke it, and gradually the Vedas came. So the Vedas through which the religious principle is being established is actually the Supreme Lord's word. And for what purpose it is? What is the purpose of establishing dharma? There are 2 or 3 purposes Bhagavatam tells. It's telling one purpose is that when the earth is one purpose. Yes. The word setu means a boundary or a limit, as in the case of a dike. Earth is raised up on both sides of a river or canal so that water will not deviate from its proper path. So the law which has been given by the scriptures or the Bhagavatam, the laws like no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating, these laws so that we can divert our human energy in the self-realization, so that we don't get distracted in our path of devotional service. Sometimes it appears that there is so much loss, so many things we need to follow, so much restriction we need to follow, but it is actually meant for our good, isn't it? Like sometimes, many a times people tell, why shall we wear helmet while driving? It's such a sometimes people, it becomes a very burden. But I have a personal experience. Like one of my close relatives, suddenly he was going from Bhubaneswar to Puri, and he had a bike accident. And the driver was wearing helmet and he was not wearing helmet. And bike accident, spot death it was. So that point it clicked to me, actually the restriction which appears to be restriction, it is meant for our good. If he would have wore helmet, he would have been saved, isn't it? So this actually, the dharma is meant for our good actually. But unfortunately the modern civilization is making such a hype. It makes us feel that it's a restriction. Why so much restriction is being put, isn't it? You can ask them simple question that just remove the traffic signal from the road, how the road will be. It will be a chaos actually, isn't it? It will be a chaos. So this actually, the principles of dharma or the religious principles actually meant for our betterment. It is to direct us in the right direction. But unfortunately, because of the modern education, people are feeling that these are a great restriction for us. So this we need to really understand. This dharma is meant for, actually for our good. And the highest dharma which is established by Srimad Bhagavatam, savai pumsa paro dharma, yato bhakti radokyaja, ahetukiya pratihata, yayatma suprasiddhati. Yayatma suprasiddhati. So this is being spoken here in the next verse, what you call point in the next paragraph. Since the laws of God act as a priest to take us from material life to liberated spiritual life, this additional sense, this means what? Whatever is being spoken in either Vedas and the highest literature Srimad Bhagavatam is gradually elevate all of us. Isn't it? There are Puranas in the mode of ignorance. It is being spoken such a way that they gradually elevate to mode of passion. The Puranas in the mode of passion, they are spoken such a way that they gradually elevate to mode of goodness. The goodness Puranas are spoken such a way that they gradually elevate. When a person gets elevated gradually, then he comes to this transcendental literature Srimad Bhagavatam, which establishes that savai pumsa paro dharma yato bhakti radokyaja ahetuke apratihata yayatma suprasiddhati. This Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman paritejya mam ekam saranam bhaja. Give up all other religious principles. Just surrender unto me. So this is the essence of all the dharmas which is being spoken by Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So to actually to protect this principle, to establish this, Krishna appears. And Krishna is doing his beautiful pastimes. So in this pastime of Krishna teaching Rukmani, one of the principle which is will be very much what you call, it will come out is that Krishna does whatever Krishna does actually in his pastimes is only meant to increase the love of his devotees towards him. Apparently, what you call, when Rukmani was feigning, it will appear that what you call, the way Krishna is teaching, that Rukmani is getting bewildered and his service is getting hampered. Isn't it? It will appear. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad is telling, he is using the word, he is telling that whatever Krishna does actually, the purpose, Krishna's desire is not to stop the prema seva of his beloved devotee, but rather he acts in such a way to strengthen that prema. To manifest and to establish this principle, Krishna is doing this beautiful pastimes. So Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.